Let's look now at a trade of the week, starting Monday, the 3rd of December. But before we go to this week's trade, let's look back at last week's, which was long S&P. Chris Beecham put the trade on at 26.60 with a stop at 26.15. With analysis of this is Josh with us. It was a good trade, actually, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's been quite a week, to be fair. We had the double whammy. We had Powell with a little bit more of a dovish tone. That gave us a big boost in terms of US markets. And now, of course, this breakthrough in terms of US-China, seeing a 90-day sort of reprieve to the trade war intensification. I wouldn't necessarily say that this is the beginning of, the end for that, but it feels like that at the moment. So certainly we have seen a very good week for US markets as a whole. I mean, if we just look at where we were back in Monday, you can see that actually it comes off the back of quite a decent period of downside. So he's pretty much picked the bottom for this market. So yeah, really good one. And hopefully we can try and do something just as good for the week coming.
Okay, what are you going to choose then?
So I'm going to choose crude oil, choosing Brent on this occasion. For some reason I've been looking a lot at Brent, Chris more so WTI. But I think, we've got a week where we've got OPEC coming up. So it's, this is certainly one that's going to have big influence from that OPEC meeting. But we've seen such a significant period of weakness for oil prices at a daily time frame. You look at the massive sell-off that we've been seeing over the past 2 months. That has seemingly been broken for me. If you look at the move that we've just seen, we see this gap higher. We've seen the first swing high broken on a 4-hour chart, so we're no longer creating lower highs. We can see time and time again throughout this whole trend, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. We didn't create throughout the whole 2-month period a single higher high. We've now done that. And this comes off the back of Russia essentially saying within the G20 meeting that they were willing to work with Saudi Arabia to control production, to control prices. Markets are going to be expecting something from OPEC as the week goes on. Now, certainly we're seeing some sort of downside now. That could be a really good opportunity. If we saw some weakness into this area in particular, that'd be brilliant. And it would, of course, allow us for a tighter stop loss. It makes your risk to reward profile a lot more attractive. But certainly, I think for me, we're likely to see a strong week for oil. I think we've seen the beginning of the bottom for oil prices for the near term anyway, and there's a good chance that we could, certainly OPEC dependent, see a strong surge to close out 2018.
That's the big thing, isn't it? Of course, OPEC on Thursday this week, it's widely expected we could well see an oil production cut. Depending on the size of that will depend, I guess, on the upside for oil. Where would you put that stop loss on this particular trade?
Yeah, so I mean, if we're now creating higher high here, then the expectation is that the next move is going to give us a higher low. So as long as we don't break below the previous low that we have, which is 57.76, so let's say we'll put it at, say, 57.20. As long as we don't break below that 57.20, I fully expect to see a little bit of weakness, and that weakness could give us a good buying opportunity anyway. But as long as we don't break below that previous low, I think that would be a buying opportunity, any weakness, rather than something to be too worried about. And yeah, let's hope this is the beginning of something big. Chris absolutely called the bottom in the S&P, and I'm hoping to do the same thing for Brent Crude.
Okay, all right, Josh, thanks so much indeed. That's Trade of the Week for this week, starting Monday, the 3rd of December.